لقد كان لسبإ في مسكنهم آية جنتان عن يمين وشمال. Hey, Assalamu alaikum guys, you're welcome back to the class. As usual, I am your teacher Ashwal. Still on the 4 rules of nunus, sakinati, wa tanween. We are in the second rule, which is idgham, as it is on the board, being our topic for today. What is this idgham? Idgham simply refers to the merging of 2 letters, and the both letters must be contained in 2 separate words. Now, as you can see, there are 2 words there on the board. Let's just say they are example of Arabic words. Alright, so this is the last word here is mim, and then the first word here is kaf. What idgham does is you will join mim and kaf. That is just it. Now, when does this rule actually applies? The rule of idgham applies when either of the letters is a nunus sakina or a letter that has a tanween, and the other happens to be amongst the letters of idgham. Now, if you're confused about what tanween and nunus sakina is, there is a video down below. I will link it on the identification of nunus sakinati and tanween. Just because of time, I wouldn't be able to go through that in this video also. Idgham has 6 letters: mim, ya, waw, nun, lam, and ra. When either of these letters comes after a nunus sakinati or tanween, then the rule of idgham applies. However, there are 2 types of idgham, and the idgham letters fall under either of these classifications. The first one is known as idgham bigunna, otherwise known as idgham kamil. The second one is known as idgham bigayri gunna, otherwise known as naqis, idgham naqis. In the case of idgham bigunna, in the process of applying the rule of idgham whilst reciting the Holy Qur'an, you will make a gunna. That is just the meaning of idgham bi gunna. There is a gunna there. Whilst the other one, idgham bi gairi gunna, in this place, you will not make a gunna. That is just the difference of the 2. Bi gunna and then bi gairi gunna. Bi gunna means you will make a gunna, and bi gairi gunna means there is no gunna. Under each type of idgham, there are letters assigned to them. Bigunna has 4 letters, which means whenever you're applying the rule of idgham, if you see these 4 idgham letters, then you would make a gunna there. Whilst the other 2 fall under bigayri gunna, which means you wouldn't make a gunna whilst applying the rule of idgham whenever you see either of these letters. Let's move to the example of it in the Holy Qur'an, where I will recite it and then you will understand what the whole topic is. Yeah, before I proceed, please take a second to subscribe to this channel, and if you're already my subscriber, thank you very much, and please stay to the end because there is an important thing to note on this lecture. Here I am using the screenshot of my Qur'an, which is an app called Qur'an Lite. It has in its Juz Amma this Tajweed rules highlighted in colors. So I think it will be a good option for you to have. But then let's proceed. Now, if we want to apply our rule of idgham, as we can see here, idgham is all in purple. There is a tanween here, followed by an idgham later. And it says that whenever a tanween comes before an idgham later, then the rule of idgham applies. But before we apply this rule, we will have to understand what type of idgham is there. This is mim, and mim falls under idgham bi gunna, which means we will have to make a gunna here in the process of recitation. So how are we going to recite it adding gunna? I have underlined it instead so that we will see clearly. It will be hablum mim masad. Hablum min. The waiting there is actually the gunna that you are making. I would have just said hablum mim masad. That means I didn't make a gunna there. Hablum mim masad. No gunna. But when I say hablum mim masad, that is where there is a gunna. And if we can remember, what did we say idgham is? Idgham is to merge. That is, we are to merge the lam and the mim. Hablum mim masad. You will close your mouth in the process of pronouncing them. Hablum mim masad. Hablum. However, there are two idghams here. Apart from this one, we have another one. Nunus sakina and another mim. So it's the same thing. Being that it is a mim, we will still have to make a gunna. So let me underline the both and recite them. Hablum mim masad. Mim masad. The first one is hablum min. And then the second one is mim masad. Let me now recite the entire verse for you so that you will really understand them. في جيدها حبل من مسد. And in our next example, we have nunus sakina and then another nun following it. Apart from the nunus sakina, then we have an idgham later which happens to be nun following it. Now do not be confused because it's a nun and nun. If you know nunus sakina, then you will know that the second nun is not nunus sakina. Alright, I will link down below the video on the identification of nunus sakinati wa tanween. There you will get to understand better what nunus sakina is, so that when you see it in the Holy Quran, you will be able to differentiate nunus sakina and any other nun. Min ni'matin. You wouldn't say min ni'matin. You didn't make a gunna, but you're waiting there is the actual gunna, and then you merge it. You can hear the mim being kept inside the noon, like min ni'ma. You get? So if you're to recite it, is min ni'matin. Okay, now reciting the whole verse. وَمَا لِأَحَدٍ عِنْدَهُ مِنْ نِعْمَةٍ تُجْزَى. And here we have two of them. You remember that we said our idgham is in purple, right? So here we have our tanween, which is dhammatain, and then our mim. So if I'm to recite it here, I will say Kitabum marqum. I won't just say Kitabum marqum. If I say Kitabum marqum, it's wrong because I didn't make a gunna. I didn't make this weight in there. So Kitabum marqum. And of course, there is a merging, right, of the ba and the mim. Kitabum marqum. The next example is here, another tanween and a ya. Yes. Ya falls under what again? It falls under idgham bi gunna. That means we will have to make a gunna whilst reciting here. So now, how would it be? Luyawma. That is the correct one. If I say luyawma is wrong, but if I make a gunna there, it's right. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. And yes, we have another example again here, which is in this place. You remember we said our idgham is in purple. However, the other type of idgham, which is idgham bighairi gunna, isn't in purple, is in ash, as we can see in this third example here. The and lam. In the case of the, there is a tanween, right? And we have an idgham later following it, and the later is lam. Lam falls under idgham bighairi gunna. That means in reciting this place, we wouldn't make a gunna. Now let's recite it. Ma'idhil lil mukaththibin. Ma'idhil lil. You wouldn't say ma'idhil lil. That would be wrong, because you are not supposed to make a gunna there. Instead, just say whatever it is to be said there and then move forward. Idhil lil. Ma'idhil lil mukaththibin. So now I will recite the both, and please you should take note of the difference. Bigunna and then bighairi gunna. Bigunna is in purple and bighairi gunna is in ash. Bigunna means I will make a gunna, whilst bighairi gunna means I wouldn't make a gunna there. Now listen please. وَيْلٌ يَوْمَئِذٍ لِلْمُكَذِّبِينَ. And in this our example, we have nunus sakina and then a ra. Ra is under idgham bighairi gunna. That means in reciting this place, I wouldn't make a gunna. Now listen. Ar-rabbihim. I wouldn't say ar-rabbihim is very wrong. But when I say ar-rabbihim, there is a margin, but there isn't a gunna. Remember, our gunna is the weight in there. So it will be كَلَّا إِنَّهُمْ عَنْ رَبِّهِمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ لَمَحْجُوبُونَ. Yes, as you can see, there is another example there. إِذٍ لَمَحْجُوبٌ. There is no gunna, and it's just as we said before. So yes, and this is what I wanted you to wait to understand. And yes, as you can see on the board, we have the 4 instances in the Quran where the rule of idgham is violated. What do I mean here? The rule of idgham, if you can remember, is that it is the merging of 2 letters, and the letters that are to be merged must be contained in 2 separate words. However, there are only 4 instances in the whole of Quran from Baqarah to Nas where this rule is being violated, in the sense that there is a nunus sakina or a tanween that is to be merged with an idgham letter which happens to be contained in 1 word. For example, number 1, as you can see there, we have ad-dunya. Ad-dunya is a word. It's just dunya. That is the word. But in that same word dunya, we have nunus sakina. Can you see the nunus sakina there? Immediately after nunus sakina, there is a ya. Ya is an idgham letter. So in this case, what are you supposed to do? The rule of idgham here doesn't apply. Instead, you will apply the rule of izhar. I will link down below the video on izhar so that you would understand what the rule of izhar is. But just to give a quick recap, the rule of izhar applies that it is to make things obvious. That is, instead of merging and making gunna or not making gunna, you will just pronounce it as it is. Ad-dunya. That is all, making it obvious. Number 2, as you can see also, we have kinwan. Kinwan here we have nunus sakina, and then there is a waw coming after the nunus sakina. 3, we have bunyan. In bunyan, there is a nunus sakina and then a ya following it. Last one, we have sinwan. Sinwan, there is a nunus sakina and then a wa following it. And of course, to wrap everything up, it is said that in these cases, the rule of izhar applies instead of idgham. That means you will make it obvious. Just pronounce it as it is. Ad-dunya, kinwan, sinwan, bunyan. Please like this video if you did find it useful, and subscribe to this channel to help us grow. And of course, do hit the notification button. Take it to all so that you would be notified of all our videos and you wouldn't miss any other class subsequent.